David Euler from Norbourne MFA Agri-Service. So I've custom applicated for since '81. We work with several farmers, anywhere from real big landowners to real small. Soybeans and corn is our main things, and of course wheat is coming back with prices and all now. I usually spray about 20,000 acres a year, and we spray a lot in the bottoms and probably about as many acres in the hills. So, well, I guess actually it was just the boss. They got one and he was running it, and then he ended up trading for this smaller one, and I come out of a coupe into the Apache, and quite frankly, I didn't know if I liked to change at the time, but that's actually the best one I've run. So a post-emerge machine. So I really do like it. That machine goes over a lot of rugged stuff, and it's holding up. It just, you don't have any trouble with it. It's not a four-wheel drive, but you definitely do not need a four-wheel drive because it will go. When it gets too wet for it to go, you just better be in the parking lot because you don't need to be out there. You're just cutting a bunch of ruts for nothing, and it'll get you out of pretty bad situations. You don't have to worry about sticking it. I haven't stuck it yet. I could put that Apache down 15-inch rows without getting on it. If you got any kind of decent running at all, which I like that part about it. It's got narrow enough tires. A lot of times you can't tell you've even been in the fields because you can keep it in there so nice, and it doesn't waller around on you. It just drives real smooth. And you could probably cover 100 acres a day more with it, for your boom size, and it's rugged enough that, you can treat it a little bit harder than what you could the coupe because of the boom strength. I think the main thing is this one you can load it up and you can go out there and get over several acres with it before you have to come back and fill up. Don't leave you over on the back side of a field, or even if you start over there, you can usually finish what you're doing and get back to the truck. Switching fields a lot of times is a lot nicer. You don't have to load. A lot of times you can be up in an area and you can just have your truck in a central location and come back and get a load and right on down the road you go, instead of having to load it and move. Filling them, it's handy. They've got it fixed to where you can fill your rinse tank and your foamer out of the same hookup, and then right beside that you can load your tank. So it's just a little simple of hitting a couple valves, and you can load that thing in no time, and you're back on the road again. I really like that part on this one. Inductor, dump your chemical right in there on the side. You can, while you're filling, you got your controls all there together, and you can be dumping chemical in, and usually you'll have your chemical in time you get your water on. Now you just don't have to do much. All we've done is kind of what the book says, changing oils and stuff like that. And as far as having any mechanical problem with it, we haven't had. Check your oils and everything else before you start, and that's just pretty well all you have to do. We've went through some pumps. Of course, that's kind of normal when you're putting that many gallons through them. They're going to wear out. It's sitting right back there on the back, and it's real easy to get to. When the seal goes out on you, we got one on the shelf usually, and I'll shoot probably 30 minutes, you're spraying again. It's real easy, it's handy to change. That one don't use much fuel. I can go out and spray all day long on the fuel that it'll hold, which I don't even know what size tank's on it. I can spray all day long unless I've got some real tough pulling or something. I never have to worry about coming into fuel. That machine, you think it's pretty big, but it handles real easy. We haul a machine. I haul it to the hills and a lot. It's easy to load. You get it in tight spots. You don't have any problems with it. I mean, the steering's real easy. It's just pretty near like if you got in your pickup and driving it. Well, I do think the mass on this Apache is a lot better because it all pivots together. Where the coupe, you just could raise and lower your outside booms. That's all you could do there. With this one, it's kind of, when you hit ditches at angles, it just kind of floats across there where you don't jerk them up and down from hitting an angled ditch. When you're crossing ditches, you don't have a problem with it. It's not flipping them and throwing them around, and that's what I'm saying. You can get the right speed hitting them ditches and not tearing things up. That's probably what I like about it the most in the hills. The windows and everything, they're easy to see out of. You can pretty well see all your nozzles as you're spraying. When you put a day's work in there, you can crawl out of them and you don't feel beat up.
If you had a farmer that came up to you and was, looking at sprayers and asked you how you felt about the Apache, what'd you tell them?
Well, I've had it happen. I told them it's the best one I've ever run, so that, you're not going to go wrong there as far as I'm concerned. They're simple to run. I mean, anybody's got any spraying experience at all can jump in one and take off with it. Like I said, down on the river, I took it down there one time and didn't know what I was getting into, I guess. You know how you'll hit something that you don't expect. They usually go in there and they rip it to fluffing it up. Okay, that does work, but when you think of that, then you go in there to post-emerge it, well, it's soft, so, and it's usually pretty wet. I was fully loaded and got right next to that river and all of a sudden hit one of them old wet spots, and I mean, she went down and I really thought I was in trouble, and with a lot of machines I would have been, but man, I went ahead and I sprayed on through and got out of there, and went over to the other side where it was drier and started working my way back towards it, and ended up getting it all but about 3-4 acres. It'll pull you as hard as anything. That's what'll test any machine right there. And I have not needed any more power in that machine.